return softly. No matter how much time passes, they come back quietly, like warm afternoon sunlight, touching the same familiar place inside the heart. Among all the days that slowly shaped our story, there is one moment that still feels bright and clear. The day our paths crossed in the most ordinary way. I didn't know it then, but that simple moment would become the beginning of everything. That afternoon felt completely normal. People walked past each other without paying much attention. Cars moved slowly along the street, and conversations floated through the warm air. I was simply passing through the day like any other day before it, without expecting anything unusual to happen at all. Then suddenly my eyes paused for a moment. Something in the crowd quietly caught my attention. The first time I saw you, the world slowed down somehow. The first time I saw you in that quiet afternoon crowd, and everything around me felt strangely different. You were standing nearby, talking to someone softly, completely unaware that some across the room had just begun. Remembering your presence, there was nothing dramatic, just a calm expression, a gentle way of speaking, and a quiet smile that stayed in my thoughts. Some meetings begin without loud moments. They arrive softly and change everything. The first time I saw you, my thoughts grew still. The first time I saw you, I felt a quiet thrill. And my ordinary afternoon felt brighter. I remember pretending not to look again, while secretly noticing every small detail. The way you laughed gently, the way your voice carried warmth through the room. It was the kind of moment that seemed small, but felt strangely important. New feelings often appear without warning. The first time I saw you, my heart noticed first. The first time I saw you, something quietly burst, and the moment lingered longer than expected. For a few seconds our eyes almost met, but both of us looked away with a shy hesitation, as if the moment had surprised us both. Still something about it remained quietly hanging alive in the air between us. Some beginnings are written in silence. The first time I saw you, time moved slowly. The first time I saw you, the world felt lonely. Before that moment suddenly warmed. Eventually the moment passed and life continued in its usual rhythm. People kept walking, voices returned, the afternoon moved forward. Yet something small had already changed inside me. Some encounters leave gentle echoes inside the heart. The first time I saw you, my thoughts stayed there. Later that evening, I found myself remembering the smallest details. Your quiet smile, your calm voice, the soft way you move through that ordinary room. It felt strange how such a simple moment could stay so clearly. The beginning of love often feels like this, quiet but unforgettable. The first time I saw you, my heart felt new. The first time I saw you, I kept thinking of you. And the night somehow felt warmer. Years may continue forward with many memories appearing, but that first meeting remains gently bright. The quiet beginning of a story neither of us had planned. Every love story has its first page. The first time I saw you, our story began. The first time I saw you, before we had a plan. And that quiet moment became everything. Maybe love doesn't always begin with perfect timing or dramatic words. Sometimes it begins with a single quiet moment when two strangers notice each other and something gentle starts to grow. The first time I saw you, soft memory, warm beginning, forever. And even now when I think about how everything started, the same image returns. A quiet afternoon, a simple glance, and the moment my heart first realized that something beautiful had quietly begun. Some memories return softly. No matter how many years pass, they appear quietly, like warm evening light, touching a familiar place inside the heart. When I look back at the earliest pages of our story together, there is one small moment that always feels bright. Not a dramatic confession, not a grand romantic scene, just a gentle memory of the first time I noticed that shy little smile slowly appear on your face. We were standing close but not quite together yet, two people sharing the same space while still feeling like strangers. Our conversation moved carefully, soft sentences forming slowly between small pauses. Everything felt new, a little uncertain, as if the moment itself was quietly deciding what it wanted to become. Then suddenly you looked down for a second, as if trying to hide something, a small smile beginning to appear. That shy little smile you tried to hide made the whole moment feel warm inside, and my nervous heart felt strangely lighter. You laughed softly at something simple I said, then covered your smile with the shy hesitation, as if you didn't want to reveal too much yet. But that small gesture only made the moment sweeter, a quiet glimpse of the gentle person you truly were. Some smiles carry quiet honesty, they reveal warmth without saying a word. That shy little smile, soft and sincere, made everything calmer when you were near, and every passing second felt bright. I remember noticing every small detail, the way your eyes brightened when you looked up again, the soft warmth hidden inside your laughter, the careful way you spoke as if choosing words with quiet kindness. Sometimes the heart listens before the mind understands. That shy little smile appeared again like gentle sunlight after soft rain, in my quiet afternoon felt new. Our conversation moved slowly with comfortable pauses between sentences. Neither of us rushed the moment, as if we both sensed that something fragile is beginning to grow. New feelings often arrive quietly. That shy little smile brightened your face, turning a simple meeting into a warm place, and everything around us felt softer. Even when we talked about ordinary things, the weather, our day, little stories from our lives, the atmosphere around us felt quietly different, like a gentle spark hidden inside calm conversation. First meetings carry fragile magic. That shy little smile, morn into night, stayed in my thoughts like warm, gentle light, and I kept remembering it later. When the day ended and we walked away in different directions, I noticed something strange. The small smile kept returning inside my thoughts again and again, like a soft melody I couldn't forget. Some moments refuse to fade. That shy little smile followed me home. That shy little smile refused to roam, and the quiet evening felt warmer. Years may pass and our story may grow into something deeper than that first meeting, but even now I still remember clearly that gentle beginning, two slightly nervous hearts sharing a quiet moment without knowing how important it would become. Love often begins with something simple. That shy little smile started it all. That shy little smile I still recall. And my heart still feels that same warmth. Maybe the beginning of love is never loud or dramatic. Maybe it hides quietly inside small gestures, a nervous laugh, a careful glance, a shy little smile shared between two people who don't yet realize their story has begun. That shy little smile, soft memory, sweet beginning, always. And even now, when I think about how everything started, I see that same image again. A quiet room, a gentle conversation, and the shy little smile that slowly turned two strangers into something much more. Some memories return gently. No matter how much time moves forward, they appear quietly, like warm sunlight through a window, touching the same quiet place inside the heart again. When I think about how our story first began, one simple moment always shines a little brighter. Not a loud confession, not a dramatic scene, just the quiet second when our eyes met and something soft began to change. The room was filled with ordinary conversation. Voices moved through the air like calm waves in a quiet afternoon. People laughed, chairs moved gently, and nothing felt unusual until my eyes wandered across the room and stopped right where you were standing. For a brief moment, everything seemed slower. The noise around us faded into the background, and the quiet space between two glances suddenly felt important. When our eyes met, the world grew still. When our eyes met, I felt a quiet thrill. Something gentle shifted inside my heart, and the ordinary moment felt brand new. You noticed it too, that small connection shared in silence. Your expression softened with a curious smile, as if wondering why the moment mattered. It lasted only seconds, yet somehow it stayed longer inside my thoughts. First glances carry silent questions, two strangers wondering quietly what the moment means. Sometimes the heart understands before words exist. When our eyes met under gentle light, everything around us suddenly felt bright. The room was still the same, but my thoughts were already changing. Neither of us spoke about what had happened. We both looked away with a shy hesitation, as if pretending the moment had been ordinary. But something small remained quietly alive in the air between us. Some beginnings arrive without sound. A glance can start a story neither heart expected. When our eyes met, something quietly grew. When our eyes met, my thoughts turned to you, and the calm afternoon felt warmer. Later our eyes met again across the same small room. This time the glance lasted a little longer, carrying a quiet understanding between two curious hearts. The world around us continued, but the moment felt separate from everything else. Sometimes love begins without a single word, just two quiet glances finding each other again. When our eyes met, time slowed down. When our eyes met in that quiet town, and suddenly the day felt magical. I remember feeling both calm and nervous at the same time, a strange mixture that made the moment feel important without any explanation. Even the smallest movement from you felt impossible not to notice. New feelings often arrive softly, but once they appear, they stay. When our started, that simple glance still feels important. It was the quiet beginning of something beautiful. Two strangers had not yet imagined. Every love story has a first page. Sometimes that page begins with a glance. When our eyes met, our path began. When our eyes met before we had a plan, and the quiet moment changed everything. Maybe love does not begin with grand gestures or perfect timing. Maybe it begins with a glance. Two people never forget, even years later. When our eyes met, soft memory, warm beginning, forever. And even now when I remember the earliest page of our story, the same gentle image returns. Two quiet strangers sharing one small glance that slowly grew into love. Some afternoons stay gentle, no matter how far time moves forward. They return quietly like warm sunlight resting on familiar memories. When I think about how everything between us began, one particular afternoon always feels brighter than the rest. The air was calm, the sky carried soft golden light, and the whole day seemed ordinary, until the moment my heart suddenly realized you were there. The afternoon moved slowly through a calm rhythm of voices, people talking softly in the background of the day. Nothing unusual seemed to happen until I noticed you standing nearby with that quiet presence that somehow drew my attention. It was such a small moment, yet my thoughts stopped wandering immediately. Something about you felt quietly different. The calm expression in your eyes carried a gentle warmth that made the moment feel unexpectedly important. Heartbeats that afternoon suddenly felt new. Heartbeats that afternoon started noticing you, and the ordinary sunlight felt brighter somehow. You spoke with someone softly while the light outside filtered gently through the window. Your voice carried a calm and friendly tone that made the room feel lighter. Even before we spoke, I could feel something small beginning to shift inside me. First feelings arrive quietly, they don't ask permission before appearing. Heartbeats that afternoon, soft and unsure, kept returning gently whenever you were near, and every passing second felt warmer. When we finally spoke, our conversation moved slowly, like two people learning how to share the same moment. Every word felt careful, every touched your gentle face, and my calm thoughts felt suddenly alive. I remember noticing how the sunlight touched your hair, how your laughter appeared unexpectedly between our sentences. The world outside continued moving, but the quiet space around that moment felt separate from everything else. Some moments create their own small world. Heartbeats that afternoon turned dull and clear, kept reminding me you were near. And the quiet air felt sweet as the afternoon continued. The conversation grew easier. We talked about small things, places we liked, songs we remember, little stories from our everyday lives. It's somehow those simple words, two strangers slowly becoming less strange. Heartbeats that afternoon, gentle and clear, kept reminding me you were near. And the quiet even felt warmer. Years may pass and life may carry us through many different moments, but that gentle afternoon remains clearly alive inside my memory. The quiet beginning of something neither of us had expected. Every love story has a first rhythm. Heartbeats that afternoon started it all. Heartbeats that afternoon I still recall, and my heart remembers that warmth. Maybe years may pass and life may carry us through many different moments, but that gentle afternoon remains clearly alive inside my memory. The quiet beginning of something neither of us had expected. Every love story has a first rhythm. Heartbeats that afternoon started it all. Heartbeats that afternoon I still recall, and my heart remembers that warmth. Maybe love doesn't always begin with dramatic words or perfect timing. Maybe it begins with two people sharing one quiet afternoon and suddenly realizing their hearts have started listening. Heartbeats that afternoon, soft memory, warm beginning, forever. And even now, when I remember how our story opened, I still see that calm afternoon, the gentle sunlight, the quiet conversation, and the moment my heart first learned your presence was something special. Some days arrive quietly, without promising anything special. Morning slowly turns into afternoon, while people move through their familiar routines. Nothing in the air suggests that something meaningful is about to happen. But sometimes hidden inside an ordinary passing day, a small moment appears that gently changes everything. When I look back now, one memory always stands clearly. The simple afternoon when you looked at me with calm eyes and softly said hello. sunlight slipped gently through the nearby windows. I was simply standing there, watching the calm rhythm of the day, letting the moment pass normally, like any other afternoon before it. Nothing felt unusual yet. Then suddenly you walked a little closer. The distance between us felt smaller somehow, and the quiet space between two strangers began to change. The day you said hello, my heartbeat changed. The day you said hello, the moment rearranged, and the quiet afternoon felt brighter somehow. Even the sunlight outside seemed warmer. You spoke gently with a calm, friendly voice that made the moment feel easy. It was only one simple word, a greeting people say every day, yet something about it felt strangely meaningful. Your voice carried warmth that lingered quietly long after the sound faded. Sometimes a single word can begin a story. Sometimes a small greeting becomes unforgettable. The day you said hello, soft and sincere, made the quiet moment feel warm and clear, and every passing second felt a little lighter. I remember answering slowly, trying not to sound nervous, even though my thoughts had suddenly become busy. Your eyes carried a gentle curiosity, as if you were wondering the same quiet things I was. The moment felt simple, yet quietly special. Two strangers learning how to begin, two quiet hearts sharing the same moment. The day you said hello, my heart noticed you. The day you said hello, my thoughts felt new, and the calm afternoon felt suddenly magical. I remember answering slowly, trying not to sound nervous, even though my thoughts had suddenly become busy. Your eyes carried a gentle curiosity, as if you were wondering the same quiet things I was. The moment felt simple, yet quietly special. Two strangers learning how to begin, two quiet hearts sharing the same moment. The day you said hello, my heart noticed you. The day you said hello, and our thoughts felt new, and the calm afternoon felt suddenly magical. Even after the conversation ended and we slowly returned to our separate spaces, my thoughts continued replaying the moment, the calm sound of your voice, the warm way you smiled while speaking, and the quiet kindness that stayed in the air. Some moments echo longer than expected, some greetings remain inside the heart. The day you said hello stayed in my mind. The day you said hello felt warm and kind, and the quiet memory followed me home. Even after the conversation ended and we slowly returned to our separate spaces, my thoughts continued replaying the moment, the calm sound of your voice, the warm way you smiled while speaking, and the quiet kindness that stayed in the air. Some moments echo longer than expected, some greetings remain inside the heart. The day you said hello stayed in my mind. The day you said hello felt warm and kind, and the quiet evening followed me home. Years later when I remember how everything between us began, that small greeting still feels important. The quiet opening of a story neither of us had expected to write. Every love story has its first word. The day you said hello started it all. The day you said hello I still recall, and my heart remembers. beginning forever. Even now when I turn back to the first page of our story, I still hear that moment, your gentle voice breaking the quiet with one simple word. Hello. Sometimes love begins quietly, long before we realize it. There is no sudden announcement, no dramatic moment that clearly marks the change. Instead it grows gently through small observations, a voice that feels comforting, a smile that lingers longer than other smiles. Looking back now, I realize there was a day when something subtle shifted. It was the moment my heart quietly started noticing you. At first everything seemed normal. We spoke like ordinary acquaintances, sharing small conversations that didn't seem unusual. But slowly I began to notice how easily my attention returned to you whenever you were nearby. The room could be full of voices, yet somehow my ears kept listening for yours. The way my heart noticed you felt soft and new. The way my heart noticed you without a clue. And suddenly every moment felt brighter. I began remembering small things about you, the way you laughed quietly, the thoughtful way you spoke, the calm kindness in your expressions. Even simple gestures felt meaningful in ways I couldn't explain. Some people appear briefly, others stay in the heart. The way my heart noticed you, soft and sincere. The way my heart noticed you whenever you were near. And every passing second felt warm. Even across the room I could somehow sense when you had arrived. Your presence carried a calm familiarity that made everything feel easier. It was as if the day quietly improved whenever you appeared. Sometimes love begins as quiet attention. The way my heart noticed you changed my day. The way my heart noticed you in a quiet way. And the ordinary moments felt special. There were small details that stayed in my memory. How your eyes brightened when you spoke about something you truly enjoyed. How your voice softened when listening carefully. Little things create lasting impressions. The way my heart noticed you felt calm and true. The way my heart noticed you in everything you do. And the quiet afternoon felt warm. Sometimes I caught myself smiling unexpectedly after remembering something you had said earlier. Even the simple sensation could linger gently inside my thoughts. The heart keeps the moments it loves. The way my heart noticed you, morning to night. The way my heart noticed you in soft golden light. And every memory felt sweet. Later in the evening, when the day finally ended, I realized how often my thoughts returned to you. Not because I tried to, but because they simply did. Some feelings arrive quietly, but remain. The way my heart noticed you stayed in my mind. The way my heart noticed you felt warm and kind, and the quiet night felt brighter. Looking back now, I can clearly see how those small moments slowly form the beginning of something deeper, a quiet affection growing without hurry. Love often begins with gentle attention. The way my heart noticed you started it all. The way my heart noticed you, I still recall, and the memory remains warm. Maybe love doesn't begin with dramatic confessions or sudden declarations. Maybe it begins when one person quietly realizes that among everyone else, their heart keeps noticing the same person again. The way my heart noticed you, soft feeling, quiet beginning, forever. And even now when I remember those early days, I can still feel that gentle awareness. The moment my heart began noticing you in ways it had never noticed anyone before. Sometimes love begins so quietly that we don't notice it at first. There is no sudden change in the air, no dramatic moment that clearly announces its arrival. Instead it grows gently through the smallest observations. A voice that feels comforting, a smile that lingers longer than any other smile in the room. Looking back now at the beginning of our story, I can see the moment clearly. It was the day my heart started noticing you in ways it had never noticed anyone before. At first everything seemed ordinary. We spoke like simple acquaintances, sharing small conversations that didn't feel unusual at all. People moved around us, voices filled the room softly, and the day continued in its calm, familiar rhythm. Yet little by little I realized my attention kept returning to you again and again. The room could be full of voices, laughter drifting through the air, people speaking all around us. Yet somehow my ears kept listening for your voice. The way my heart noticed you felt soft and new. The way thoughtful way you spoke when explaining something. Even the simplest gestures felt meaningful somehow, as if my heart was quietly collecting every little memory. Some people appear briefly and disappear with time. Others remain gently inside the heart. The way my heart noticed you, soft and sincere. The way my heart noticed you whenever you were near, and every passing second felt warm. Sometimes I sensed when you had entered the room, even before I looked up, your presence carried a calm familiarity that made the space feel lighter. It was as if the day quietly improved whenever you appear. Perhaps the heart recognizes comfort first before the mind understands. The way my heart noticed you changed my day. The way my heart noticed you in a quiet way, and even ordinary moments felt special. There were many small details that stayed clearly in my memory. How your eyes brightened when you talked about something you truly enjoyed. How your voice softened when listening carefully. Each small moment felt quietly meaningful. Little things leave lasting impressions. The way my heart noticed you felt calm and true. The way my heart noticed you in everything you do, in the quiet afternoon felt warm. Sometimes I caught myself smiling unexpectedly after remembering something you had said earlier. Even the simplest conversation could remain softly inside my thoughts long after it ended. The heart keeps the moments it loves. The way my heart noticed you started it I'm. The way my heart noticed you and felt golden bite, and every memory felt sweet. Looking back now, I can clearly see how those small moments slowly formed the beginning of something deeper. A quiet affection growing gently without hurry, creeping us without hurry. Some feelings arrive quietly, yet remain. The way my heart noticed you stayed in my mind. The way my heart noticed you I still recall, and the memory remains warm. Maybe love does not begin with dramatic confessions or sudden declarations. Maybe it begins when one person quietly realizes that among everyone else, their heart keeps noticing the same person again. The way my heart noticed you, soft feeling, gentle beginning, forever. And even now, when I remember those early days, I can still feel that quiet realization. The moment my heart began noticing you in ways it had never noticed anyone before. goodbyes feel light and ordinary. Two people finish a conversation, share a small smile, and then slowly walk away toward different directions of the day. But sometimes a goodbye doesn't feel simple at all. Sometimes the moment lingers quietly in the heart. Long after the words have ended, when I think back to the early days of our story, one evening always returns gently. The first time we said goodbye, and I realized I already missed you. The sky had begun turning golden as the afternoon slowly faded. People moved around us with the calm rhythm of evening, heading home after long hours of ordinary routines. Cars passed quietly in the distance while soft conversations drifted through the warm air. Yet the moment between us felt strangely delicate, as if neither of us wanted the day to end. There was a quiet pause before either of us spoke again. A small hesitation, neither of us explained. Something gentle in the air made the moment feel important. Missing you after goodbye felt new to me. Missing you after goodbye. So suddenly the quiet evening air felt different somehow. Even the fading sunlight seemed warmer. Seemed warmer. You lifted your hand in a small friendly wave before slowly turning away. For a moment I stayed there, watching your steps move farther down the street. The afternoon continued normally, yet my thoughts remained with you. Some moments become memories instantly. They settle quietly inside the heart. Missing you after goodbye, soft and clear. Missing you after goodbye when you're not here, and the calm street around me felt empty. As I began walking home, the world continued normally. Cars passing slowly, people talking nearby. The gentle rhythm of footsteps along the pavement. Yet inside my mind the same memory turned again. Your voice repeated softly inside my thoughts. Missing you after goodbye again and again. Missing you after goodbye, like soft falling rain, and my quiet heart felt warmer. As I began walking home, the world continued normally. Cars passing slowly, people talking nearby. The gentle rhythm of footsteps along the pavement. Yet inside my mind the same memory returned again and again and again. Your voice repeated softly inside my thoughts. Missing you after goodbye again and again. Missing you after goodbye, like Alex soft falling rain, and my quiet heart felt warmer. I kept remembering small details about you, the calm kindness in your eyes, the way your laughter appeared suddenly in the middle of conversation. Even the simplest moment felt important now. Little memories began gathering slowly. Missing you after goodbye stayed in my mind. Missing you after goodbye felt gentle and kind, and the quiet night felt brighter. Looking back now, I understand that evening was the first time my heart truly noticed how much your presence already meant to me. Some goodbyes create beginnings. Missing you after goodbye started something new. Missing you after goodbye before I even knew that the quiet feeling was love beginning. Maybe love doesn't begin with grand declarations or dramatic moments. Maybe it begins quietly after a simple goodbye, when someone for dramatic moments. Maybe it begins quietly after a simple goodbye, when someone walks away and suddenly their absence feels important. Missing you after goodbyes, gentle longing, new love. And even now, when I remember those early days, I can still see that quiet evening, the moment we said goodbye, and my heart first learned how much it wanted to see you again. Some goodbyes feel simple and light. Two people finish a conversation, share a small smile, and then walk away toward different directions of the day. But sometimes a goodbye doesn't feel ordinary at all. Sometimes a moment lingers quietly in the heart, leaving behind a feeling that is difficult to explain. When I remember those early days, there is one particular evening that always returns gently. The first time we said goodbye, and I suddenly realized how much your presence already meant to me. The sky had begun turning softly golden as the afternoon slowly faded. People moved around us with the calm rhythm of evening, heading home after long hours of ordinary routines. Yet the moment between us felt strangely delicate, as if neither of us wanted the conversation to end. There was a quiet pause before we finally spoke, a small hesitation, neither of us explained. Something gentle in the air made the moment feel important. Missing you after goodbye felt new to me. Missing you after goodbye so suddenly, and the quiet evening air felt different somehow. Even the fading sunlight seemed softer. You waved gently with that familiar shy smile, before slowly turning away. For a moment I remained still, watching your steps disappear into the calm street. The afternoon continued normally, yet my thoughts refused to move forward. Some moments become memories instantly. They settle quietly inside the heart. Missing you after goodbye feels about you, the calm kindness in your eyes, the way you laugh softly during our conversation, and the gentle way you said my name. Little memories begin to gather slowly, missing you after goodbye, all strange but sweet. Missing you after goodbye with every step I meet. And the evening sky above felt softer. By the time I reached the quiet road near my home, the sky had grown darker, and the first stars began appearing quietly. Yet my thoughts remained somewhere else, still standing in that final moment with you. Some feelings grow silently. Sitting alone in the calm quiet of my room, I realized something surprising. I kept hoping to see you again soon. Perhaps this feeling was only beginning. Missing you after goodbye stayed in my mind. Missing you after goodbye, the quiet and kind. Understand that evening was the first time my heart truly noticed how much your presence already meant to me. Some goodbyes create beginnings. Doesn't begin with grand declarations. Maybe it begins quietly, after a simple goodbye, when someone walks away and suddenly their absence feels important. Missing you after goodbye, soft memory, gentle longing you love. And even now when I remember those early days, I can still feel the quiet evening and the moment we said goodbye. And my heart first learned how much it wanted to see you again. Every love story has a beginning, but not every beginning looks perfect or graceful. Sometimes it starts with small awkward moments, nervous smiles, and quiet pauses between simple conversations. When I remember how our story truly began, I don't see grand romantic scenes. Instead I see two people trying to talk normally while their hearts quietly beat faster. Those early days felt strange in a gentle way. Whenever we spoke, there was always a small moment of hesitation, as if both of us were choosing our words a little more carefully than usual. We tried to sound calm, pretending everything felt perfectly normal. Our awkward little beginning felt shy and sweet. Our awkward little beginning with nerve a second, just to hide how nervous we felt. Two hearts learning slowly how to speak to each other. Our awkward little beginning, soft and unsure. Our awkward little beginning, simple and pure. And every small moment felt warm. Even the smallest things felt important. A question about your day, a small story you shared, a quiet laugh that made the room feel lighter. Little conversations can create beautiful memories. Our awkward little beginning changed my day. Our awkward little beginning in a quiet way. And the ordinary moments felt brighter. Sometimes the silence between our sentences felt longer than expected. But strangely those quiet pauses were never uncomfortable. Some silences carry on. Our awkward little beginning felt calm and true. Our awkward little beginning, whenever I saw you, and the gentle afternoon felt sweet. Even after we said goodbye, the memory of those moments stayed clearly in my mind. The shy smiles, the quiet laughter, the feeling that something was slowly growing. First connections grow quietly. Our awkward little beginning, morning to night. Our awkward little beginning in soft golden light. And the gentle afternoon felt sweet. Even after we said goodbye, the memory of those moments stayed clearly in my mind. The shy smiles, the quiet laughter, the feeling that something was slowly growing. First connections grow quietly. Our awkward little beginning started it all. Our awkward little beginning, and still we're caught in the memory of names. Looking back now, those shy early days feel even more beautiful. They were the first steps in a story, neither of us fully on a foot, in a way I couldn't explain. Sometimes the heart recognizes something special. Our awkward little beginning stayed in my mind. Our awkward little beginning felt gentle and kind, and the quiet night felt brighter. Looking back now, those shy early days feel even more beautiful. They were the first steps in a story, neither of us fully understood you. Our awkward little beginning, soft and unsure. Our awkward little beginning, simple and pure. And every small moment felt warm. Our awkward little beginning, soft and unsure. Our awkward little beginning, simple and pure. And every small moment felt warm. Our awkward little beginning felt calm and true. Our awkward little beginning, whenever I saw you, and quietly changed something inside us. Nothing dramatic happens, no one around us even notices. Yet suddenly the heart feels different. Looking back now at the early pages of our story, there is one memory that still feels very clear. It was an ordinary afternoon, filled with simple conversation and calm laughter. But somewhere in that moment, my heart realized something new. It was the moment I suddenly felt quiet, because I understood my feelings for you were beginning to grow. We were talking casually about small things from the day, the kind of conversation people share without thinking. Your voice sounded calm, your laughter soft and warm, and the moment felt easy. Nothing about the scene looked unusual from the outside, yet inside my thoughts, something gentle had begun to change. For a second, my attention drifted away from the conversation. I was suddenly aware of how carefully I was listening to you. The moment I felt quiet, standing near you. The moment I felt quiet, not knowing what to do. The simple conversation suddenly felt new, and my heart began noticing you. You continued speaking about something ordinary, a story from your day, a small detail that made you laugh. But instead of answering right away like usual, I found myself simply listening, watching the way your eyes brightened when you smiled. Sometimes feelings arrive without warning. They appear quietly between simple moments. The moment I felt quiet, soft and unsure. The moment I felt quiet, my feelings pure in the calm afternoon felt warmer. For a few seconds I truly didn't know what to say. Words that normally came easily to me suddenly disappeared. All I could notice was the calm warmth in your voice and the gentle kindness in your expression. Sometimes the heart speaks louder than any words. The moment I felt quiet, my thoughts stood still. The moment I felt quiet felt like a gentle thrill, and the ordinary moment felt magical. You looked at me with a small curious smile, as if wondering why I had suddenly grown quiet. I tried to laugh it off, pretending nothing had changed, but inside my chest my heartbeat felt slightly faster. Some feelings are difficult to hide. The moment I felt quiet, I noticed you more. The moment I felt quiet like never before, and the quiet afternoon felt sweet. Later that day when we said goodbye and walked separate ways, the memory of that moment returned again and again. I could still hear your voice, still see your smile, still feel the quiet pause when my words disappeared. Love sometimes begins with silence. The moment I felt quiet, morning to night. The moment I felt quiet in soft golden light, and the memory felt warm. That evening, while While sitting alone in the quiet calm of my room, I replayed the moment again, the conversation, the laughter, the sudden silence that revealed something new. Some realizations arrived gently. The moment I felt quiet stayed in my mind. The moment I felt quiet felt gentle and kind, and the quiet night felt brighter. Looking back now, I understand clearly that small silent moment was the beginning of something deeper. The first time I truly knew my heart was slowly falling for you. Every love story has a realization. The moment I felt quiet started it all. The moment I felt quiet I still recall, and the memory remains warm. Maybe love does not begin with dramatic confessions or perfect timing. Maybe it begins quietly when someone suddenly realizes their heart has already chosen someone special. The moment I felt quiet, soft realization, gentle beginning forever. And even now when I remember those early days, I can still see that quiet afternoon. The simple conversation, the gentle laughter, and the moment my heart first understood how much you meant to me. Night arrives slowly after the long rhythm of the day. Streetlights glow softly while the sky grows deeper with quiet shades of blue. The world outside begins to rest, voices grow softer, and the calm silence of evening fills the small spaces around us. Yet on nights like this, the heart sometimes becomes busier than it was during the day. Memories appear quietly, returning again and again, without asking permission. Tonight, as the quiet air settles, I find myself thinking of you. Earlier today, everything felt simple. A few conversations, a few shared smiles, small moments that pass without anyone noticing. Yet now, in the quiet of night, those same moments feel brighter in my memory. Your voice returns softly inside my thoughts. Your laughter appears again like a gentle echo. Thinking of you tonight under quiet skies. Thinking of you tonight with calm sighs, and every small memory feels warm. The room around me is peaceful and still. Outside the window, the night air moves slowly through the quiet streets. But inside my mind, the day continues, replaying every moment when we spoke together. Some memories appearing suddenly in the middle of conversation. The way your eyes brightened while you spoke, those small details now feel like gentle lights inside my memory. Little moments grow stronger at night. Thinking of you tonight, again and again. Thinking of you tonight, like soft falling rain, and my quiet heart feels calm. Sometimes I wonder if you are also awake somewhere, perhaps remembering the same small moments from earlier today. The thought alone makes the quiet night feel less lonely. Two hearts thinking quietly, thinking of you tonight, soft and true. Thinking of you tonight, missing you too, and the silent night air feels warm. The hours pass slowly as the night grows deeper. The world outside continues sleeping peacefully. Yeah, my thoughts remain awake, returning again and again to the same gentle memories. Some feelings grow stronger in silence. Thinking of you tonight, morning to night. Thinking of you tonight, in soft moonlight, and every quiet thought feels sweet. Eventually the night becomes very still, even the distant sounds of the street disappear. Yeah, your memory remains softly present inside my thoughts. Perhaps this feeling is becoming something more. It stays in my mind. Gentle and kind, and the calm night sky feels brighter. Looking back now, I realize nights like this were the quiet beginning of something beautiful. A heart slowly learning how much another person can mean. Love often grows during silent nights. Thinking of you tonight started it all. Thinking of you tonight, I still recall, and the memory remains warm. Maybe love begins quietly during nights like this, when someone realizes their thoughts keep returning to the same person again and again. Thinking of you tonight, soft memory, gentle longing, new love. And as the quiet night slowly fades into sleep, one gentle thought remains inside my heart, that tomorrow I might see you again, and the story between us will continue, one small moment at a time. Every story has a beginning. quiet place where everything starts. Sometimes it happens so gently that no one notices the moment when two paths finally cross. Looking back now, through all the memories we share, I often return to that simple day, the place where our story first began. It wasn't a dramatic moment, just a quiet meeting between two people who didn't yet know how important that day would eventually become. The day itself felt ordinary. People moved through their routines without thinking much about tomorrow. Voices drifted softly through the air while sunlight touched the quiet street. Everything looked the same as any other afternoon before it. Yet somewhere in that moment, two strangers noticed each other. A simple conversation followed, soft laughter between sentences, the gentle rhythm of two people speaking for the very first time. Nothing in the moment felt extraordinary then. But sometimes small moments grow later, where a story began, soft and sincere. Where our story began when you were near and the quiet moment felt warm. Your smile appeared like a sudden light in the middle of the day. The calm kindness in your voice made the moment feel easy. First meetings create lasting memories. Where a story began changed my day. Where our story began in a quiet way, and ordinary moments felt brighter. Even now, when I close my eyes, I can still remember the way that afternoon looked, the soft colors of the sky, the gentle sound of voices nearby. Memories keep the smallest details. Where our story began felt calm and new. Where our story began was meeting you, and the quiet moment felt sweet. As time slowly passed, those small memories began connecting together. The first smile, the first hello, the first quiet goodbye. Little moments forming a story. Where a story began stayed in my mind. Where our story began gentle and kind, and the quiet memory felt bright. gestures. Maybe it begins quietly when two people meet and something gentle starts to grow. Where our story began, story began, where our story began, I still recall, and the memory remains warm. Maybe love doesn't begin with perfect timing or grand romantic gestures. Maybe it begins quietly when two people meet and something gentle starts to grow. Where our story keep right, started it all, warm beginning forever. And even now, when I think about everything we have shared, my heart always returns to that simple place, the quiet moment where two strangers met and our story first began.